by Energy Ecliptic. Love's sauna. Self-love, best love, world love. You knows my honor. Greetings. God be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. In peace, prosperity, power. It is my honor to share my affirmations, visualizations, and unisons, manifestations, and all satisfactions. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets, presented in procreation. This is MB9T Podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming, ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goal is a bullseye, your action is the dart. Believe in you no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. The ending and completion. The completion to my ending. El Nueve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All numbers surrender to 9. Let's give first appreciation to the day that we are living. So, in this moment that we are breathing, the gratitude of attitude to affirm, visualize by thoughts, by actions, the life that we are bestowed to live. Give thanks for all the experience, whether they're good or bad. But you must realize with experiences that if you're here and you're capable to recall such experience, then no matter the actual outcome of such experience, the true success is you surviving. The true success is you placing the ability to look back while you're still in the process of going forward. So failure is only defined upon your hindsight of what such is to be. How could you fail if you put your best effort? Can never fail if you place your every attempt in every try. So that's the way I look at it. And today, honor titling the ending and completion. I wrote a poem years back. I titled that, but the poem itself is just a depth poem. And for me, the title was given from that perspective because literature, this is where my viewership, my emotions, my comprehension at the time that I felt, and just expressing intuitively, outwardly, I guess I know what you would define as to be my care about. So here we go. The ending and completion. I'm here, a present, before you, astonished at your presence. And blossom, I aim to grow you a flower rooted by knowledge and essence. I became one from the decision by two. No mom's son, lacking fatherhood true. Staying aligned to thy artistry dues, option by choices, bring the picking to use. The vessels of enemy used to give out tendencies. Male and female got born, was Adam and Eve, now Caitlin means multiple genderies. Let's talk. The coastline of oceans, my conversation is a setup for a walk. Barking no bite, social media in all phases. Even the teachers write on a selfie before a chalk. Blame me for my ignorance, and I blame you for what's been given since. Century of self-hate led me to abiding law. No attorney, I was my self-defense. Speaking for me comes the door for more. How I see things, do strange, tighten my ribs, I'm core. In love with beauty, I'm pure. The behaviors, minds and mind, inconsistent is my body and soul. The flesh want power, finding securement. Opposition, my spirit dwells for all bodies to grow. Mindful of the inner voice, trusting you is what everybody's should know. How we so busy getting money, rent experiences, but we can't buy no health. Give up so easy, crowd surrounding, bucket differences, fashion depth our wealth. By hip we hop into the same pain and nerves we know that our pelvic felt. He died wearing Tommy, a note sent to his brother, since he'll figure his brother died trying to rob the plug for a Gucci belt. See how that work? Mechanical verse, like a locksmith, I'm clocked in. Taking my tool to diffuse the self-did mind, uplifting no curse, to power, I lock in. I be knowing way more than my doings know, less by action but expression that I can show. How many times I've been open for a yes to a heart that was a closed no. Richer than rich can fathom the life of being poor than a popo caring for the po. Let me tell you, despite the eyes, if you close open the universe, the stars in darkness bring lights to better, as brighter expose all the worst. You see things in negative, subtracting and dividing to equal means of a human curse. Multiplying, adding to the factors of relation, the sum of numbers in our mother's purse. I take none for granted. To those who really embody mind and spirit to love her self-creation, you're the greatest miss, a patient bliss. I chant it. The first picture of life for our infants, you paint it. Lost some road games, defend home games, you win it. Man's the captain, woman serve life, so you're a lieutenant. Don't be afraid if the caution to behave is a cave for a narcissist to create like a slave. Never paid for the arts and craft that I gave, which and made a pave, way out the parts to recreational stage, performing chapters as I verbal out the page, so radical, free my wordplay as enraged, self-inner battle is me versus I in a double-locked cage. The story, I won multiple championship, unknown to most, Bass Robert Horry. Been so grown, I can't even recall my first time, opposite of Lil Corey. Sweet in my taste, I got diabetes salty. Haters, they sprinkle Lori. Watch out. Caution given outward from the intuition within. As end finish last, I'll be the start to begin. No pretend, control self button I command. Doesn't have to be your map, but in guidance. Such can always be your plan. The ending and completion. Yeah, so that poem right there is heavenly, heavenly, like appreciative. I wrote it, but to be transparent with you, I have another poem called Leg, Learn, Earn, Give, where I say, read these words and understand that I'm not in control. Not good nor bad. I'm just a demon to my soul. So the ending in completion was another spiritually controlled poem where my body was just being utilized, I should say, from my soul, from my spirit, amongst gravitating such purposeful thought that was intuitively for me to express outwardly. So, I mean, you know what? I was gonna decode that this poem more and more, but let's furthermore this conversation into what does that mean in itself if you look into that term, the ending and completion. Um, I mean, for me, numerically, when I think about the number nine, that persists to that, but also that counterpart, that counteract to the idealization of our life that we live in. Um, the solutions that we go by sometime provides us ending without providing. It provides us ending results without completing a solution. I should say. Um, so how do one get to that point where we know we're going or living a life that's asserted to the. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I wanted to make this a particular diaphragm, but I'm gonna just speak up, and me speaking up, it will be just me speaking out. Why don't I just give a fuck? Because I'm learning that like trying to make sense for everybody, trying to be light for everybody is just not my cup of tea. It's just something I just can't sip on. Um, as days go by, I know I'm dying. So I just want to get closer to living, you know? I know I'm getting closer to death because from the day that I was born, my time has been clocking down towards such. And it's not because I'm letting my life pass by, it's just the inevitable that death, wow, I don't know the persistence of its timing from the year, the month, the day. I do know it shall occur. I don't know how, among different sickness, sleep, murder, anything to that fashion. But what I refuse to do is allow death to keep me in a fear state of mind, allowing me not to live. I know that there's ugly side of me because I've experienced that from people, places, and things. The biggest side of me, I guess the majority side of me is the beautiful side of me because of people, places, and things. Meaningful. I mean, I have a great fucking life. And honestly, I'm not letting the thought of my financial trouble, the complication, complication towards my early childhood upraising. These are gifts to me. These are gifts of experiences to for me to remember how strong I am. For me to always recall, wow, bro, not any moment of your life you haven't survived. You survived it all. That's what I'm captivated with um, troublesome ideas or experiences. It's like I live, I'm growing. There's some time in my life, a lot of time. I can't say all the time, but I don't fight. I don't fight the idea of how, although I didn't know everything that's to be established by people, places, and things, I already knew it was to establish. The best knowledge I received today, and it's always a grateful, thankful day if you can receive any knowledge. But the best knowledge I received today was from a beautiful queen of of mine who pledged to be another mother sent to me from the spiritual realm that was showcased to me by the flesh body. And what a beautiful soul, because her body, as being a melanin goddess, a queen, she didn't persist. She didn't persist to be that total definition of her. She persisted to be a human first. It was one of the most beautiful encounters, because where I could be her son, or I could be, another young black man to her eyes, and so on and so forth. Um, I just really, truly, and wholeheartedly respected her views. So I can say a little bit more on that. This was a religious goddess, one that walked with the faith and sight and the belief of Christianity, and the belief that Jesus died on that cross so she can have her freedom. Right. So me in that form where nowadays I can't even define myself into spirituality, because, like I said, in numerous occasions, I found spirituality to be more of a separation, just as religion. So I just say I'm a godly being. I'm a person that believes that I am God. I'm a person that believes all within us all. I'm a person that's intuitively connected with the universe, whether it's through the nature aspect, whether it's through the consciousness idealization of being connected to this earth realm or universe. Um, yeah, so I say that to say, because as so many diversion of differences was pledged from me and this goddess, whether it was age, whether it was beliefs, we was able to find the biggest power that we had in unison, and that was the power of understanding that we're both humans. We're both humans. No matter how we attempt to depict or differentiate that, but when we both really looked at the idealization of what every difference made out to be, it really came out to be the same thing. Two humans expressing their perception views of what is truthful or not. For most of us, life is filled with uncertainty, and the only way we process ourselves with such certainty is among having a mass togetherness when it comes to what we all view together as to be truthful or not to be, right? So that goes with the group decision making, that goes with the group thinking, that goes with the cult following, and which moves on with the different aspect of religions, you know what I'm saying, groups and so on and so forth. Um, so for a lot of us, the laws of not having unconditional love for ourselves naturally have it mirror the match of having no unconditional love for our surroundings. Because as myself, I give you my stature. I'm 6'1", 175 pounds. Um, have a little different dieting habit regarding, I'm more into plant-based, but still at time I eat the fast food aspect of what provided in our society based on finance or based on timing. So I give you the stat perspective because there's millions of men out here and they are different than me. I give you that stat because there's men and women out there, and some stature, some may look at me, I'm too small or too big. differences is just it's nature. It's just nature. And I think we're overly communicating amongst those differences. We're attempting to make the world respect us by telling the world everybody should think like us. And that's the most disrespectful thing we can do to the world. Allowing ourselves to be the best version of us and not worry about anybody else changing us or wanting us to be as them. I love when people can truly love. And my statement to that is that love is a hefty cost. It's a hefty price. J Lo, I believe you. I believe you because it should be that way. My love shouldn't cost a thing, but realistically, we all have imperishable method to what is or confined as love. And with our uprising, sometimes scorning this method, it deteriorates the true experience that anyone can have. And this is not just a relationship, romance love, but just a love from a brotherhood, sisterhood, the love of society, the love of neighborhood, community, things of that factor. Self-hate destructively has capsized on individuality to where we're incapable to actually respect one another's differences. The the conversation to me flows more where a lot of people want to defend their skin. A lot of people want to defend their religion. Fuck defending. Let's say kill. Kill for their skin. Kill for their religion. Kill for what they like, they dislike. I just let you know how hurtful we are as people. That if somebody don't look like me, I want to kill them. If somebody don't talk like me or speak the same language like me, I want to kill them. But for some reason, our ideology of such hate is that we're protecting and loving ourselves because we hate on someone else. The saddest thing to me with the process that we have in racism or classism is that we're literally having a new ethnicity form within our own eyes. Within, I guess you can just give in a ballpark example. I guess you can say 10, 15 years ago, or even early 2000. And that ethnicity group would be to me biracial kids, who are grown adults now. Some of them, you right, depending again that time frame that was born in. So like, with so many people hating, and again having this idealization that everything is black and white, then what do you do? What's the skin color for, or what's the ethnicity for someone who's biracial, who bloodline carry two different skin type or mindset? I don't know how to differentiate that, but when we as a societal community to frame what is good or what is bad, eliminate some cultures or races as to be inadequately unequal to the human race. What are we doing? I don't want to live like this because I don't want to die like this. So all I'm attempting to do as the captain is alternate my vessel. You know what I'm saying? Whether the alteration comes from my actual map or guideline that needs alteration, or it's the mechanical servicing to my vessel that needs to be changed. And I'm one of them people that like I'll never run away from such, so I'm always gonna do my best to figure out such. I'm gonna do it. So when I'm living in a society that's plagued on this limitation, plagued on making differences be the popular outsource, right? Not giving the power to unity, which is the sums of number combining together to make a to make either greater visions, multiple visions combining into one, right? So many different aspects of what unity does when we put our hands, feet, whatever together, right? It's such a riveting effect amongst the cause and effect that when we utilize the term iron sharpen iron, each one teach one. When we do that, how much we can manifest not just by the flesh of physical activity, but the mental peace, the spiritual awakening of our universe is something spectacular. Spectacular because I can feel it by action, but by action I've never experienced. We 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 get to complete what's in front of us by staying present with the past and the future, right? Because in the present you'll find your past attempting to define you by everything you've been through, right? You'll also get your future attempting to advise you your worth, right? So amongst your past, your future can be a destructive vision if there's not enough self-love and the comprehension of those experiences are not to be you definitively, right? So the future could be a dark future if the past is controlling from if a dark past is controlling the future, then the future is aligned to it, right? But if the past, whether it's light or whether it's dark, but it but the soul is self-acclaimed and comprehended to be the past, then the future visions are more, again, in either state, whether that person went through a negative situation but they got a positive not a mind. They've been through a good situation but they have a positive mind. The present positive mind ascern the positive future. So it's always the mental present state that align the past and the future. Because in the present, if I accept the negativity of my past and I dwell on that, then I am as my past, ascending the present energy into a negative future. Vice versa, I take accountability, I accept such negative past, and I wholeheartedly come into the present with peace, tranquility. So shall my future be. Easier said than done, but what you'll find in regards to being able to unlock or to open any of the doors that seem to be unlockable. It goes on the conversion of you finally withholding your own Pandora key, not asking to borrow someone else, not 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 using a replica key or anything to that fashion, but you acceptably either having to alternate a key to make it your Pandora key, or finding that lost Pandora key that was yours that you never had. You gotta figure out which one, what's your situation, and how do you configure that. And figuring that out goes about you having those actionable, knowledgeable moments to yourself where you remain in the present, right? Because the mind, whereas the body is here in the present, the mind can be anywhere, by thoughts, by visions. You know what I'm saying? So the mind can travel by the seconds as where the body is there to where it is physically. The limitation that we have in our life is a limitation that we have set for ourselves. This has been another MB9T Podcast, Mr.BasTiEn 9 Tablet Podcast Show. Much love to you, sending you peace, prosperity, to align in that unisons of power. May you affirm, visualize, and manifest the goals, the purpose, the reasoning of your life. With much love, with all love, as you look in the mirror and I see the mirror to you as to me, my love is self-love. To receive the best love, we must be guided and united towards